Have you ever looked at your dog and wondered what would happen if learning came from something other than you? That question crossed my mind on a quiet morning while my dog sat nearby watching every move I made. There was nothing unusual about the day, same routine, same commands, same responses, yet there was a strange curiosity sitting in my head. What if training did not depend on my mood, my timing, or my patience? What if it came from something that never gets tired and never guesses? So I decided to try something I had never done before. For one full day I stepped back and let artificial intelligence take over the training process. No shouting, no frustration, just data patterns and consistency guiding every interaction. At first it felt almost uncomfortable. My dog kept looking at me as if asking why things felt different. The sounds were calm and steady. Rewards came at precise moments. There was no emotion behind them, yet somehow everything felt clearer. Commands were repeated the same way every time and feedback was instant. As the hours passed I started noticing subtle changes. Eye contact lasted longer. Movements felt more confident. Commands that usually needed repetition were followed almost immediately. It was not dramatic or flashy. It was quiet improvement happening right in front of me. What surprised me most was not how fast my dog adapted but how much I learned just by watching. I realized how often I change my tone without noticing. How inconsistency sneaks into training when emotions get involved. Here there was none of that. Just calm guidance and predictable responses. By midday my dog seemed more relaxed than usual. There was less hesitation and less confusion. It felt like the signals finally made sense. Not because they were smarter but because they were clearer. As evening came I expected things to fall apart. I thought the focus would fade or the progress would disappear. But instead my dog stayed calm and responsive, almost as if the day had built a quiet confidence. When it was finally over my dog curled up beside me like nothing special had happened. Yet everything felt different. The bond was still there, stronger in some ways, changed in others. It was never about replacing connection. It was about understanding it better. Letting artificial intelligence train my dog for a day did not turn my pet into a robot. It showed me how powerful clarity, patience, and consistency can be. And maybe the biggest lesson was not for my dog at all but for me. The next morning I decided to test what had changed. Nothing complicated, just a simple command in a slightly distracting moment. I said it once, calm and clear. My dog responded instantly. No pause. No second guess. It felt unfamiliar in the best way. That was when I realized something important. The command had not changed. The environment had not changed. What changed was the clarity behind it. I was no longer layering words or emotions onto the signal. I was simply communicating. As the day went on I noticed improvements outside of training altogether. Waiting calmly before meals. Walking with less pulling. Sitting without being asked. These behaviors were not trained directly. They emerged naturally from understanding. I began observing my own habits more closely. How often I repeat commands because I assume my dog did not understand. How frustration sneaks into my voice even when I think I am being patient. To a dog these mixed signals must feel like static. Artificial intelligence did not improvise. It did not assume. One cue meant one thing. Every time. There was no confusion about expectations. And in that certainty my dog found confidence. Something else stood out to me. Silence. There were moments where nothing happened. No praise. No correction. Just space. And in that space my dog made calm decisions instead of reacting impulsively. I realized how often I interrupt learning with unnecessary noise. This experience challenged what I thought leadership meant. It was not about authority or control. It was about responsibility. Responsibility to be clear, to be fair, to be consistent even when tired or distracted. The system never rushed. It never escalated. It trusted repetition. And that trust created stability. My dog no longer scanned my face for emotional clues. The instruction itself was enough. Over the following days I kept the mindset even after the experiment ended. I simplified my language. I reduced repetition. I focused on timing instead of intensity. Training sessions became shorter yet more effective. What surprised me most was how adaptable dogs truly are when communication makes sense. They do not need complexity. They need reliability. When signals are consistent, learning feels natural rather than forced. I also realized how often we label dogs as stubborn or slow when they are simply confused. We change the rules without noticing and expect them to keep up. Artificial intelligence never blamed. It adjusted through clarity. The bond between us did not weaken. It deepened. There was mutual trust instead of negotiation. Cooperation instead of correction. My dog felt calmer. And so did I. I still speak with warmth. I still laugh. I still feel that emotional connection. But now there is intention behind every interaction. Less guessing. Less noise. More understanding. Letting artificial intelligence guide training for a day did not change who my dog is. It revealed who my dog already was beneath the confusion. Eager. Capable. Ready to learn. And in a strange way the technology faded into the background. What remained was perspective. A reminder that improvement does not always come from doing more. Sometimes it comes from doing less but doing it better. That day ended long ago, but its lesson continues in small moments. A pause before a command. A single clear cue. A calm confident response. And every time I see that response I am reminded that the most powerful tool I gained was not artificial intelligence at all. It was clarity.